Hello everyone, Grace here. So today we are going to chat a little bit about finances and specifically how I budget. So I know in the past I've tried to use Google Sheets, I've tried to use Excel, I've tried to purchase a template, which I've also done, and I've also tried to create my own because I'm kind of decent with Excel, so I try to create my own template as well. And honestly, it's just so freaking much work that I decided to ditch the entire Google Sheets and the spreadsheets ecosystem and move completely over to Notion. For anyone who doesn't know what Notion essentially is a free app that has database and you can write notes, you can plan your life, you can do work. There's like so many different views within Notion and it's 100% free, so I decided to build it within that. Spend a couple of days building this, not gonna lie, and basically plan my budgets and expenses and income and everything like that. Later on in this video, you're going to see a promo code flash on the screen just so that you can also use this template if you'd like. Unfortunately, Etsy is not allowing me to post this template for free. I think there's just like transaction fees and stuff like that. And obviously they need to make a cut as well. So I've discounted it heavily, so that all of you can give it a try. And if you like this template, please do give me a quick review over on Etsy. Would really love it. With that said though, I'm going to turn over to my desk and going to walk you through what I've been spending the past month and exactly how I budget, so that maybe it'll give you some inspiration on how you could do your finances as well. I will see you in a bit. So we are going to get started here. So just a quick walkthrough of setup here. So basically I duplicated my template, which is called the Smart Budget Tracker. And in here, there are a few sections. So we have the Action Center, essentially 2 buttons here where I press log income, and then I can log my income, log monthly expenses, which are basically all of my expenses that I've incurred within the entire month. Just a menu if in case you get lost, but I think everything should be here. We have our upcoming bills to pay. We have our 2023 subscription renewals that we could input in here. I think this section is absolutely great if you have multiple credit cards that you want to keep track of, especially the renewal dates, what the benefits are, etc. You can jot them all down in here so you get a high level view. And then of course, what your income goal is for the year, how much you want to spend less than this year. And so we're going to try to manage our spending this year. I know this number sounds incredibly high, but keep in mind that living in Vancouver, BC, Canada, it's ridiculous expensive. So, which is why this number looks quite high at the moment, but we're going to try to aim for less than that, given everything, the inflation and all of that. So we're going to see where things go. So I'm going to walk through this section by section so that it's very clear on how I do this. So I actually built this on my own just because I found that Google spreadsheets and Excels were not really working for me. They're super difficult to manage. There's a lot of formulas and the categorization, all of it. So this is like the easiest way to do it. I found you can see all of the tallies and the categories already. There's no formulas whatsoever. So super easy to do. The only thing you do have to do is to migrate all of your transactions over to this tracker. But I think aside from that, this is fairly automated and does give you that high level view. And the other reason why I decided to build this as well is because I personally don't know how secure all of these finance tracking apps are. So I find that this is probably the easiest way, the safest way. And of course, please do not put any type of SIN numbers, healthcare numbers, credit card numbers, etc. into this. Again, this is a free tool called Notion that I use. You're more than welcome to use it as well. It's free for everybody. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And we're going to get started. So with that said though, first things first, I'm going to set up my upcoming bills to pay. So I do have one coming up that is my home insurance. So we're going to pop that in. Home insurance due date, I believe, is due on the 28th of July. The amount, I don't really know yet, but I feel like it's about $1,000. I do need to bring in the assessment in just to gauge how much it is. Again, I do have a field called assign to. So if you want to assign it to somebody else, you're more than welcome to, like whoever's paying for it. But obviously this is me, so it's just me. And then once it's paid off, I hit the check mark. But this is pretty much auto save, hit away, ready to go. You can see it here. Once it's paid off, I would just hit paid and then it'll just kind of disappear, which is kind of nice, honestly. So that said though, nothing here. And then we also have my 2023 subscription renewals. So this here, I like to put things like, for example, my Amex Platinum, we all know how expensive that is. So the annual fee is $4.99. Cadence is annual or monthly. If you have other cadence, you're more than welcome to adjust it, but I think this usually works for everybody. Monthly cost, none. The owner, of course, is me. The renewal date, I believe I got this in like February this year, so it probably will be sometime around the 2nd. I'm just gonna put it there. I have to double check just to make sure, but something around there. And then I got this, oh my gosh, cannot type today, earlier this year. And the type this is, so if you want to categorize in terms of what type of annual subscription or whatever it is, you're more than welcome to. I have it as credit card, so that's that. And again, you can keep adding it on, like for example, Spotify, Amazon, things like that. So yeah, so that's basically the subscription renewal section. I love it because you can see exactly when it's due, so that you can kind of know, okay, it's time to keep an eye out on that, or maybe you want to call it for a retention offer, etc., things like that. So that said, though, we're going to start logging. So super easy to use. We go to log income. We just basically hit the date that we got paid, or whenever you get your income in. So for just for the sake of this, we're going to go to company. Let's say I got $5,000 for the entire month, and this is my salary. If you want, you can also add a new column as well called notes or something, but I didn't. We want to also include things that, that money has come in from. So I sold something from Facebook Marketplace. So I sold a pair of shoes on Facebook, which made me $50. And then these are the categories that I have, like side hustles, reimbursement, a gift that you got from somebody, or salary. But of course, if you want to customize this, you're more than welcome to. Just click here, click edit properties, and go to options and add your own to basically make it work for your life. So so these are my income sources. I don't think I have any other income coming in. I wish I did. And then next up, we're going to log monthly expenses. So for example, I'm going to just hop into my American Express statement, just so that I could kind of take a look to see what I've got for the month of June that I need to pay. Or actually not that I need to pay, that's already paid, right? Because I do auto payments, but it's just so that I know what I spent my money on. So we're just gonna quickly go through this. Of course, it's gonna be a bit chit-chatty. So again, I went to dinner at Earl's. The category for this is food. Oh, one more thing though, if you do want to customize the categories, you can do that. You just need to hit new and then create a new category. So yeah, let me hop back into my log monthly expenses here. The amount I spent was $57. And notes, if you want to add notes in, you're more than welcome to. I can flag it as expense, but you can create categories and tags and stuff like that, within it if you want, but up to you. And then I'm just gonna quickly go through this, honestly, as fast as I can, so that you all get an idea in terms of what it looks like once it's all filled out. But of course, like for some of the things that are reoccurring, you can duplicate them so that you know that these are the things that are coming up, that are always recurring, so you don't have to type them up again. One thing you do notice is that you do realize that the calendar bit does pop to the current date, which is kind of annoying, honestly, because you got to go back. So maybe if you want to, you can do it within the month. Just that I'm doing it retroactively, that's why I got to flip back. But if you're doing it then and there isn't really a need for that, to flip back and forth. So I'm just gonna quickly fill this in just so I can see how much I've spent as well. I do plan on using this template moving forward, just so that I'm keeping track of things a bit better, honestly, because I'm not doing a very good job. Sometimes people ask me, oh, how do you keep track of your money? I do this in my head. I used to be able to do this fairly well, to be honest, but I find that nowadays, though, with more and more stuff going on, it's so hard to keep things in check. So this is honestly kind of like the best way to do it. It does take a little bit of time, so that's why I recommend popping on a bit of music, on Spotify or something like that, so that it is a little bit more fun and less dry. But you know what? I'm just gonna quickly show you what it looks like for now that I've got a few things in here. So okay, So this, of course, is not all of my transactions, right? But what you can see here is once I have all of these expenses logged in here, I can see them getting tallied up automatically. So I can see that in food, I have $103 that I spent, self-care, $11, entertainment. If you have other categories, more than welcome to, like put in kids and things like that, daycare, etc. To see what the expenses look like on a monthly basis, though, you can do it here. So in your log, you can do a category, and then you can say this week or like last month, past month. So you can see that the total dynamically automatically updates. So you can kind of see how things look like. But again, I personally like doing high level annual expense overviews over monthly, just because I think monthly is honestly really challenging sometimes to figure out, oh, I got to cut back this month and that month, right? I think overall for me, spending is a mindset of knowing like, oh, maybe I shouldn't spend so much on food, eating out lately, you know, whatever lately looks like, because sometimes it is unavoidable. You have friends and, you know, gatherings and things like that. So of course you're going to have to spend money, but, you know, at the same time, you still got to live, right? So, so you can do your filtering here if you want to do that. You can, of course, clear your filters. You can categorize them as well. You can do all your filtering here, but make sure you do clear the filter just so that you can see everything as well. So once that's all done, you can kind of see it populate. I'm going to quickly do it just so that you can kind of see how it looks like. Oh, one more thing though, if you want to, you can even further break this step out down. If you're someone that like really spends a lot on food, it might be good to break it out into like groceries versus Uber Eats versus like restaurants if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of things, because that might be helpful in then helping understand your spending habits and what that looks like, versus just putting it all together into one just called food, for example, what I have. But for me, I think this is working for me. But you know, some people would like it separately, which is totally reasonable, and I totally get it as well. I want to say one more thing here is that you can actually change the currency. You see that I have Canadian dollars because I am based in Canada, but if you do want to change it, you're more than welcome to. So if you hover over the amount, you go to edit properties. In here, you can see you can change it to Canadian dollars or rupees or yen or US dollars, whatever it is. You can just update those just so it's easier. But for me, I am just, you know, in Canada, which is why I have it here. So I'm just going to continue doing this. All right, so now that we are actually done logging everything, you can kind of see what the income looks like and the annual expense. So for just this month, ridiculously high, but keep in mind that is because I do have mortgage payments, I do have car payments, I do have car insurance, home insurance, property tax, all of that coming in hot this month. So we can see that everything has been classified already though. You can see all of the different buckets, all of the expenses for each of the categories, and then also the income that I've been bringing in. So yeah. All right, and thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please do give me a like and subscribe. It would help me a bunch. And also, if you have any questions for me, please just do leave them in the comments down below. I do reply to every single comment that there is. And with that said, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.